Today we discuss a fool's opinion on gold who likens us stackers to Gollum in Lord of the Rings. My precious. Plus, is silver making a turnaround? Use the time codes below to go to that part if you're watching this on the replay. But look, if you're watching live, you get to enjoy everything we do here on Good Morning Stackers, your weekdaily live show all about gold, silver, economic news. It's the place to be for all stackers around the world, including here in Australia. My name is Joe Main. Get your tasty beverages ready. We do the Synchronised Slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage, whatever it is. Look, it's the morning. Should you be drinking, bootlegged liquor at 9:30? I don't think so, but that's your business. But I don't care what it is. Grab your tasty beverage. We do the Synchronised Slurp. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. We'll do shout-outs and some quick plugs, and then we'll talk about a fool's opinion on gold. Then we'll do silver, gold, and platinum analysis. But of course, I've got to tell you who I am. As I said, Joe Main, worked in the bullion industry for 11 years, been stacking for longer than that, and now I help you launch and grow on YouTube, your businesses in particular. Hey, if you're an individual and you want to launch and grow on YouTube, I'll help you with that. But mainly I help businesses because why? I've been doing this for many years for bullion businesses and now I do it for any kind of business as well. So you've seen my work, you know what I can do. And I do this show because A, I love it, but also it's a little bit of a proof of concept too. I try and do that too. So we'll do some shout outs, but right before we do shout outs, of course, we are going to talk about my very favorite. Well, that's a big call, isn't it? My preferred bullion dealer at the moment, Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Australia's first dealer to offer express shipping, free express shipping, but just free shipping in general on all discount volumes. What's a discount volume? You buy over a certain amount of something, and then you get free shipping. You get that discount as you normally would. So let's take, for example, right here, 1 ounce gold Barbados Trident bars from Scottsdale, I believe that is. Yeah, it's from the Scottsdale Trident Barbados bar right there. Normally, if you were to buy a certain quantity, you'd get a little discount from any other bullion dealer. Same thing happens with Perth Bullion Exchange. You get a discount for buying a certain amount. But with other bullion dealers, you still then have to pay the shipping on top. So it's kind of like you didn't get the discount in the first place because you get a discount, but then they sting you on the shipping, right? So with Perth Bullion Exchange, Australia's first dealer to offer free shipping over the first quantity discount. So by 3, you get the discount plus you get free shipping. So you're getting $10 off per bar when you buy 3, plus you get free shipping, which is worth about your $20 or more, depending on where you are within Australia. Free shipping, express, anywhere in Australia, completely insured, signature on delivery. I mean, honestly, what more could you ask for? So head over to perthbullion.com.au. Also head over to their YouTube channel, of which they are, as you know and they know, and they're happy for me to tell them, they are one of my current clients in terms of my social media, YouTube, and other social media coaching course that I offer. So they're using my skills that I'm giving to them, and they're producing these amazing videos. One of which, look, already they've cracked the 1,000 view mark. They've been around for only a couple of months or less than a couple of months. 257 subscribers, but 1.8 thousand, so 1,800 views in the last 7 days on this one video alone. Very educational about silver bars versus coins versus rounds right here, and their subsequent follow-up just here, which is just started to get a little bit trendy, which is the pros and cons of silver coins in particular. So check out that video as well and give them a subscribe. Yes, give them a subscribe. Lastly, if you want to know more about how to create consistently engaging content, head over to Instagram.com/It's Joe Main. Instagram.com/It's Joe Main right there. You've got free content, and you can also send me a message, and I'm happy to help you with your business needs in terms of social media, launching and growing on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And at some point, it will start to cost you money. I do offer a course. I am a dirty, awful, greedy capitalist. That's all you need to know about that. My funky people. Now, let's do some shout outs and then we'll be talking about my precious. Our stackers are like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Kind of true, really. Let's do some shout outs. Black Hole says GMS. Pete repeat, GMS. Hazza, GMS. If you don't know what that means, it means good morning, stackers. Ray M, GMS, everyone. Ben Ferrugia's in the house, GMS. Look at all of you today. Living Adam Man, GMS. Tony Peterson, GMS. Morning, lovely. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, hey, Ben, Tony is very much taken. All right. Tony has a hubby that she's had for a very long time, happily married, Ben Ferrugia. Attempting a love match here on good morning. I'm just kidding. Right there. Good to see everyone getting along, and that's exactly what we want here at GMS. Join the GMS family, and a shout out to Ron Panard. I reckon, Rod, where did you find us from? Rod, are you from the United States, for example? Did you find us from the Silver Degen Club or the Wall Street Silver Reddit forums? Let me post a comment below. Oh my God, what is with me today? Post a comment below and let me know. It rhymes. Okay, time code. Let's talk about how we are all my precious. That was for the thumbnail right there. But let's talk about how we're all Gollum, like people on Lord of the Rings, just stacking our precious gold. This is an interesting one. And look, I've entitled this A Fool's Opinion on Gold. And if I do say so myself, it's a very ingenious title, and you'll see why. But this is now, let me be very clear. I'm not going to attack the person that wrote the article. It's mostly kind of fair balanced, but I'm not going to attack the person themselves, but I will attack their little idea about their sort of opinion on physical gold holding. Okay, so we don't attack the person. You never attack the person, you attack the idea, if that makes sense. But it's kind of mostly pretty fair balanced. I need to share the screen right here. But why did I call it a fool's opinion on gold? This has just come out on fool.com. So number one, it's from fool.com. It's called The Ascent, and it's a Motley Fool service. Now, you know the Motley Fool. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the Motley Fool. So it's a little sort of sub thing of the Motley Fool service right there. And this is by a lady by the name of Emma Newberry. So we don't attack the person, but we'll just read the article. As I said, mostly fair balance, but this little thing about physical gold, I don't know, Emma, what are you doing? So it's all about Costco's gold bars keep selling out. Should you buy? By Emma Newberry. Right here. Let's do a quick read through and we'll get to the point which we'll react to. Costco started selling gold bars online last year and they proved a hit with customers. Absolutely true. Soon after the retail giant started gold sales, Richard Galanti, then Costco CFO, told investors that the 1 ounce gold bars were typically gone within a few hours of posting on the site. Costco's gold bars may be flying off the online shelves, but the fact that lots of people are doing something, here we go. This is the first little, but the fact that lots of people are doing something, it doesn't always make it a good idea. Really, Emma Newberry? Okay. If you're wondering whether you should buy, there are 2 questions to consider. Is gold the right investment for you? And if so, what's the best way to buy it? So, of course, you've got to address the argument, is gold a good investment in the first place? This is what Emma Newberry says. If you're considering buying gold bars from Costco, think of it as an investment. Yes, an investment is an asset. Well, okay, so an investment is an asset. Yes, like stocks, bonds, real estate, and other commodities, they can help you build long-term wealth. Sure, you can't put stocks in your Costco shopping cart. And you can earn Costco credit rewards, blah, 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 if you buy gold ingots. Ingots? Yeah, okay. Which is rarely possible with stocks. Even so, this is money you're investing for the future. Yes, you are investing in gold for the future. It is an investment. As such, research how oh my God. As such, research how gold might perform in comparison to other assets and consider how it fits within your investment goals. An absolutely good thing that you should do. As an investment, gold can be a way to diversify your portfolio. Yes, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. A certain percentage of your investment portfolio should be in gold, in our humble opinion. A lot of people think it's a lot more than a few percent, though. Of course, because we're stackers. A lot of people view gold as a good store of value in turbulent times. Correct. Particularly as it often performs better than stocks during recessions. All right. Some also see it as a hedge against inflation. Yep, over long periods of time. It may hold its value even when the money in your bank account is losing spending power. Really well said, Emma Newberry, for great way to say it. For example, if you lived in a country like Venezuela, yes, which saw inflation of almost 1,000,000% in 2018, gold would almost certainly feel like a safer way to hold your money. Well, it wouldn't certainly feel like it absolutely 100% was. Of course, inflation, your spending power, your purchasing power. I like that the way she used spending power. That's a bit more for the masses. Purchasing power, spending power, same thing. But I like spending power. That kind of rolls. That's kind of cool. I like that. It's a safer way. Yes, it would have been in Venezuela. But here she goes. But owning gold is also more complicated than having money in the bank or stocks in a brokerage account, for that matter. Well, yes, it is. It can be. Owning gold is more complicated. I guess, splitting hairs here. It might be a little bit more complicated. But for starters, if you buy physical gold, you'll need somewhere to keep it. Yeah, that's true. You'll probably want to insure it. Yes, probably, maybe. Yeah, I would say not every stacker insures their gold, I'd imagine. Depends where you put it, all that kind of stuff. If you're putting it in a third-party storage facility, well, they're already insured anyway, but you are paying for that extra service. When you want to spend it, it won't be as easy as making a bank transfer. That is a feature, not a bug. Okay, so let's go back here. Gold is also more complicated than having money in the bank. Now, she's not saying that's necessarily a big negative, but when you want to spend it, it won't be as easy as making a bank transfer. That's the whole point of what's one of the large points of owning physical gold and physical silver is, as I've said this to probably 1,000+ customers over the time in my retail industry, if nothing else, precious metals, physical precious metals, are a great saving tool, because that's the point. It eliminates a portion of your frivolous impulse buy spending. The analogy I've used for many, many years with customers is, let's say you're in Aldi, you're doing your shopping, and then you see that fancy 65-inch TV, and you're like, oh man, my TV is kind of like, it is 8 years old. I could do a new. Oh, it's only $800 for a 65-inch TV. That's ridiculous. Yeah, all right, okay. I'll chuck that in my cart too. Wheel it out to the thing, right? But and any kind of frivolous spending or impulse buying in particular, or something that's more expensive, the jet ski, I don't know, something like that, right? You've got to physically, it's like, well, I've got like a little bit of cash in the bank, but not enough to cover the jet ski or the this or that, or go on the holiday or whatever. It's like, all right, I got to take my silver, I got to take my gold, I got to take it physically to the thing, or I've got to sell it privately and do all the transactions and dealing with people. And it's probably not worth it. I really don't need that TV, right? So it is a little layer of friction between you and your money, which is you and your currency, I should say, which is kind of what you want, really. So yes, I do agree. It is, but when you want to spend it, it won't be as easy making a bank transfer. You'll first have to find somewhere to sell the gold. Yes. So that's kind of like it's a feature, not a bug. You'll probably lose money in commissions and spreads. No. Why is that? Emma, why would that be? You'll probably lose money. How can you say that? I don't get that. That all depends on when you've bought. Yeah. And, here's the thing, when you want to spend it, I wouldn't say when you want to spend it. I would actually say in that case, because you'll probably lose money in commissions and spreads when you need to spend it. So gold, again, it's you keep it up the sleeve for the rainy day. What happens if you have a car accident, you need to fix the car, or you need to buy a new car, or a used car, or whatever, right? You've kept it as for a rainy day. So in that case, when you need it, yeah, it depends on when it happens. You might. Now, I don't like that terminology, Emma Newberry. That's a bit of I would call that a weasel word. I don't like that. I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking your argument. You'll probably lose money in commissions and spreads. No. Look, you might lose money. Yeah, you might. Of course. Duh. You might buy Tesla stock at its peak, and then, 5 years later, you have to sell it because you need a quick bit of cash, and then it's all gone down. That's like any other asset. You might lose money, but don't say you probably will lose money. No, Emma Newberry. Naughty Emma Newberry. Yeah, you might lose money in commissions and spreads. Yeah, but you might not, depending on where you bought it. So, no. Finally, that gold won't be sitting in a safe producing little gold babies. Oh, okay, right. Stocks might pay dividends and money. Oh, come on. All right. Oh boy. Stocks might pay dividends. Yeah. And money, not money, currency, and money in a savings account will earn interest. Okay. Your gold, oh come on, Emma. Your gold will only generate returns if you can sell it at a higher price than you bought it. No, incorrect. Because you just contradicted yourself, Emma Newberry, because you gave the Venezuela, if you saw inflation of almost 1,000,000%. No, you were much better off holding gold that didn't earn you any interest than inflation of 1,000,000% in 2018. And also, just take a look at inflation rates in a first world country like Australia, in the US, etc. The interest rates, a lot could argue at the moment, interest rates, I've seen products of things, nappies and just everyday items go up 50%. In a matter of a couple of years, or more than 50%. What has gold done in the last couple of years, Emma Newberry? So you're actually tracking very well, or even sometimes, depending on when you bought, even better than the interest, the 2%, the 4%, or whatever, maybe the 5%, or in your, ING account that you can't touch anyway because it's a term deposit. So no, absolutely not. Your gold will only generate returns if you can sell it at a higher price. No, because it depends on what your definition of return is. Okay, if you're talking about selling it, buying that one asset and then selling that one asset, then yeah, you might need gold, and then maybe it's around about the same price. You lose a little bit of money in commissions and spreads and stuff. Sure, but if your definition of return is maintaining or even increasing your purchasing power, no. Just having your currency, not money. It is currency, not money. Gold is real money, and silver is real money. Having your currency in a savings account will earn you interest. Yeah, but what are inflation rates at the time? How much are you losing in purchasing power? Having your money just sitting in the bank rather than in gold, which is tracking with inflation over time, etc. So yeah, no, that's absolutely. No, wrong. Here we go. On which note, gold prices will go both up and down. Yep, but so does inflation. Inflation goes up. Well, inflation goes up, but inflation can be higher or can be lower. So that depends as well. You have to track them against each other. Historically, the price of gold has trended upwards, but with prices at all-time highs, there are no guarantees. Oh, yeah, of course there are no guarantees, Emma. You could walk out, I hope you don't, you could walk out of your house tomorrow and get hit by a bus. Of course it could go down. But, we could go into a Venezuelan 1,000,000% increase in inflation. So we could do that too. It's also worth mentioning that the now this is a good point she makes. It's also worth mentioning that the S&P 500 has performed better over long periods. That is true. And let me just quickly show you what is she talking about here? We'll get to the silver and gold and platinum prices in a second, but we're going to look at a quick ratio. And I have talked about this in a previous video. I might even link above it now. on the replay, or I'll just show you right here. Gold versus the SPX. She is correct when she says, let's see, again, she says, it's also worth mentioning that the S&P 500 has performed better over longer periods. This is gold versus, or I'll actually do SPX versus gold. Can I find that? SPX versus gold? No, I've only got gold versus the SPX. Okay, so here we go. Here's gold versus the S&P 500, and she is correct. As you see this go down, that means that the S&P 500, as in the stock market index in the America, the top 500 companies, that index, which you can buy, which is an average of the top 500, that has, as that goes down, that's been outperforming gold. So absolutely do agree. Since September of 2011, the stock market, the SPX 500, the S&P 500, has been outperforming gold. Absolutely true. But that's between 2011 and now, roughly. But what happens before then? There are periods where gold absolutely, completely kills the S&P 500. Look here, from 1990, so from 2003, 2002, 2003, all the way up to 2011, basically almost 10 years. Oh, it's probably even before that. 10 years. And then look, S&P 500 has been having its time in the sun. But look at the S&P 500. We have recently had what seems to be a bottoming out right here. A recent play again for this very key level. 0.5 is a major support resistance level. It is the final hurdle for me. We had a little bit of a spike above. We had a little test right here. It tried to peak above this trend line. It was a failed move, so we have seen a fast move back down. But this is the first little peak. And a lot of people believe that if gold continues to make new all-time highs, which I think it will eventually, after this maybe a little bit more of a consolidation period, then we might finally break out. And we're getting towards, and it never gets all the way into the apex right here. So eventually, and look, this is February 2027. I'm going to say much sooner than that. We're going to make a decision either way. Do we continue to break down, and does the S&P 500 continue to outshine gold? Or are we getting to an inflection point around this kind of area? We're talking, this year, early next year, where gold eventually breaks out and starts making a play for 0.5. Once it breaks 0.5, that is my signal to say, oh, gold, baby, gold, baby. It will be a signal for many stock market investors who will be watching this going, oh, okay, it's not the S&P 500's time anymore. It's broken above this 0.5 level. It's gold's time to have its 10-year move again, at least 7 to 10-year move, probably. So I do agree with you, Emma. It has outperformed gold in the last 10, 12 years, but that time, in my humble opinion, it will come to an end eventually, because it has to, because it's a cycle. It always does. And it kind of looks like we're getting towards the end of that cycle where gold is going to start to overtake the S&P 500. So I do agree with that, but I think not for much longer. All right, there. It's also worth mentioning, gold prices often go up in periods of economic uncertainty. Yep. But if you're a long-term investor, putting your money in the stock market will often be a better bet. Well, that's just like what I just said. It will often be a better bet. Yeah, if you put your money in the stock market at the peak of the gold market, right here, if you put your money in the stock market here, yeah, completely outperform gold. But if you put your money in gold here, completely outperform the stock market. And it's a cycle. It just goes up and down. Take a look at the relative strength index here. It goes through gold goes through incredibly overvalued to incredibly undervalued over long periods of time. And we're in a sort of we haven't spent any time in gold being very overvalued towards against the S&P 500 since all the way back here in, actually this is 2009. We will eventually get to this point again because it is a cycle. It does occur. So gold will have its time in the sun again. So yeah, we probably agree on that point. But yeah, take a look at gold. I mean, why the hell wouldn't you? So that's her opinion on, is gold a good investment? Couple of negatives there. Doesn't make a lot of sense with a couple of things she's said there, but that's okay. Again, not attacking Emma herself, just attacking her ideas. And now, so take everything she says with a grain of salt. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But here we talk about what is the best way to buy gold. If you decide there's a place for gold in your portfolio, you should, because it's an insurance policy. Put it 5%, 10%. Do you have car insurance? Yes. Why wouldn't you have gold as an insurance policy against something bad happening to the economy? As she said, as Emma said, in times of economic uncertainty, prices of gold often go up. Yes, that's true. But she says, if you decide there's a place for gold in your portfolio, think carefully about how you want to buy it. Costco has made gold bars convenient, but spending around $2,000 on a physical ingot, don't call it an ingot, is a lot of money. That doesn't make sense. If you decide to buy gold, think carefully about how you want to buy it. But spending around $2,000 on a physical gold is a lot of money. Yes, but you'd still be spending the same amount of money on gold if you're buying it in, an ETF or whatnot. Plus, don't forget, you can buy fractional gold. You can spend as little as, the premiums will be higher, but you can spend as little as, a few $100, a couple of $100. Why 1 gram of gold if you want? You probably don't want to do that if you're looking to, because the premiums could be quite high, but you do want to spread your risk around in different sizes. But so you don't just have to spend, around $2,000. You can buy more, you can buy less, larger sizes and smaller sizes. Costco's gold can only be bought online and only by members. But that's why you have bullion dealers. Of course, so go to APMEX, go to SD Bullion if you're in the States, go to Perth Bullion Exchange, you go to any of the other bullion dealers here in Australia. So you don't just buy gold from Costco, you can buy from any bullion dealer. There's a certain attraction to owning actual gold that you can touch. Oh, there is, my precious. But here we go. Here's the kicker. You might also own gold jewelry or coins, though you need to have a good understanding of the market. I would agree with that. If you want to get into jewelry, you've got to know about the different purities. Gold coins, well, coins are part of bullion. So Emma, you're uneducated. I am not attacking you, but you're uninformed about, gold bullion, which is 99.5% or greater purity of gold, comes in bar form, but also comes in coin form. So you can buy coins from any bullion dealer, but you're talking about gold coins like, sovereigns or, that kind of like world gold coins. And you would have to have a good understanding of that market. I agree. But here we go. Ultimately, unless you're Gollum guarding your precious gold in The Lord of the Rings, holding physical gold is an investment. As an investment, can lose its shine. Why? If you want, can you give us a reason? Let's just read this thing. If you don't want to worry about storage, insurance, and the hassle of resale, consider instead buying stocks in a gold mining company. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. Emma. You might also invest in a gold ETF or mutual fund. Yes, you could definitely invest in a gold ETF. Let's go back to this for a second. If you don't want to worry about storage, insurance, or the hassle of resale, look, storage isn't a big deal. You can store it in your own home if you want. I don't recommend it. You can store it in a third-party thing. It will cost you money. Yeah, of course. You could go and bury it somewhere and have a map to it, like a treasure map. That's a bit of a hassle, though. True. And the hassle of resale, it's not that. The hassle, again, is a feature, not a bug. It's a savings tool, a forced savings tool, and you just go to your local dealer, and they'll buy it back from you out of interest. Perth Bullion Exchange is now the second only business in Australia to buy back at spot price. Just letting you know. But it says, consider instead buying stocks in a gold mining company. Oh my God, that is the worst. That is the worst advice I could think of. Why is that the worst advice I could think of? Number one, look, there are times where when gold goes through a bull market, certain gold mining companies can go through the roof. And yes, you can do really, really well. But Emma, this is really bad financial advice. Not that you're saying it's financial advice, but consider instead buying stocks in a gold mining company. You can't just buy any one gold mining company. What gold mining company is it? Now you could buy the gold mining company index, which is true, which is an average of a bunch of the top gold mining companies. That's true, but then you've got to measure what are gold miners doing against the physical gold price itself. Now we're at quite a low point. Gold miners, I will admit, gold miners are quite undervalued in terms of gold, physical gold itself. Yeah, so you could look at a gold mining index, sure, but which one, etc. So it's not just as easy as just buy stocks in a gold mining company. Well, number one, don't just buy a stock in one gold mining company. Duh. So bad advice. You might also invest in a gold ETF or mutual fund. I don't know about mutual fund, but a gold ETF, yeah, absolutely. You could definitely that's solid advice. You could invest in a gold ETF like the Sprott physical, does the Sprott have a physical gold ETF? Definitely has a physical silver ETF. But if you get into a gold ETF that is backed with physical, that's, hey, best of both worlds. Maybe that's great for you. But your gold ETF should be one that is backed by real physical metal. So a little bit of extra info for you there. Emma, again, I'm not attacking you, but your ideas, no, not so much. Some will give you, my apologies. I should read ahead. Some will give you exposure to a mix of gold companies. That is correct. So a mutual fund, yes, or an index, yes, that's true. So buying an index fund of miners, but again, you've got to measure gold mining company performance against physical gold itself, while others hold physical gold. Sorry, Emma, I attacked you before I read ahead. Yes, that is true. So that's true. There will almost certainly be fees involved, yes, but it is much easier to buy and sell than gold bars. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I would agree with that. It is easier. It's not necessarily much easier. It depends how far you live away. That's actually not necessarily true. No, it's not. Because it depends on how far away you live from your bullion dealer. If you hold a little bit of gold as a safe haven in your house somewhere, I don't recommend it. But if you did, and so it's easily accessible. And if there's a bullion dealer, which is, around about an hour's drive from you, you want some quick cash, you just go straight there. They'll pay you. They'll give you cash same day. As opposed to, you need to sell your ETF. You've got to log on, sell your ETF. You then have to, depending on the exchange you're using and all that, but some, like there are, what's it called, trading terms or time frame terms where you can't get your money for a couple of days. It's like T+1, T+2, all that kind of stuff if you know that terminology. So sometimes you've got to wait for your cash to get into your bank account. Whereas if given the right conditions, you could have the cash in your hand, physical cash in your hand, same day for the thing you need if you have some physical gold. So the answer is it depends. But yes, I apologize, Emma, for reading that, giving you some flack, and then not reading that bit. So my apologies. I will apologize for that. You'll never see this video, by the way, but I apologize nonetheless. Bottom line, there are many ways to save money by shopping at Costco. Yes, well, okay, true. However, when viewed as an investment, gold bars will only make sense for a limited number of people. Oh, I absolutely disagree with that. Everybody, if you can afford it, should have physical gold, at least a gold ETF, with backed by physical gold, etc. But we think physical gold as an insurance policy in case something bad happens in the world, or what happens if you need a quick bit of cash, etc. So absolutely disagree. Will only make sense for a limited number of people. Completely disagree. It makes sense for everyone. Everyone. Even if you want to add gold to your portfolio alongside a mix of other investments. Oh, what? Owning physical gold is a difficult way to build wealth? No, it is not a difficult way to build wealth, because what is wealth? That's a subjective question. Wealth is a concept. It is not a physical thing. Wealth is a concept. It is a subjective opinion. A difficult way to build wealth. Okay, well, no, it's not. Depending on when you buy. If you bought physical gold in the early 2000s, and you sold it in 2011, you're making a great amount of money. If you're buying it around about these kind of levels, and in my humble opinion, waiting, a few years, you're making a really good bit of change. But also, wealth is relative. It depends on what the economy is doing. It depends on your opinion of wealth, and also wealth is relative as well. Let me just see. I will end with that. I'll go back to me, and then we'll just do my final comments, and then we'll do some comments. Get your opinions on what do you think of Emma Newberry's opinion on all this. But wealth is relative. Wealth is relative. So, how would I put it? Wealth is relative, which is true. Let's just say, for example, I've used this analogy before. Let's just say we go through a very large economic upheaval, and most people, which they don't, most people, the vast majority, don't own physical metals, don't own gold in any kind of form, don't own gold as a part of their insurance policy. Now, what happens if gold goes through the roof, right? But let's just say the price of everything is still going up at the same time. Let's say we have massive inflation like Venezuela style. I don't think we'll ever get to Venezuela style, but let's say, half of Venezuela, quarter of Venezuela, but things are going up and up and up and up, much more than they are at the moment. But your gold is also going up relatively the same amount at the same time. It's kind of tracking with that inflation over, sort of up and down, but, mainly tracking with it. You've maintained your wealth. So you actually haven't gained in your purchasing power. Okay, so you haven't owning your gold in an inflationary event, you haven't gained anything. You haven't gained a single thing. Not that Emma Newberry has said this, but I can imagine someone like that saying, well, you haven't gained anything. You've maintained your purchasing power. Yes, you've maintained you can still go out and buy a loaf of bread for the same amount of gold or the same amount of silver, exchanging it for cash and then doing it that way, or then possibly even using the physical gold or silver itself. So you've maintained your wealth, but what's happened to everyone else who doesn't own any kind of asset that tracks with inflation? Their purchasing power has gone down. Therefore, your relative wealth is way higher than everyone else. Now, we don't want to be those people. I don't want to be those people who I'm like, I'm relatively way more wealthy than you guys because I've maintained my purchasing power and you guys are having to scrape for pennies in the gutter. No, you don't want that. So we're not saying that that's we want to get to that point. No, absolutely not. But it is a fact that you would be relatively more wealthy than everyone around you who is their purchasing power is just going down and down and down. Okay, so wealth is relative. And that's my final comment on Emma Newberry's article right there. You did make a couple of good points, but you've got a couple of uninformed opinions on holding physical gold. So let's get some comments on that. We will do some silver, gold, platinum analysis, and then we'll get out of here because I've got stuff to do, and so do you. Right here, GMS, good vibes, says Ben Ferrugia. Yes. Tony Peterson says, it's a shill article to put off newbies from buying physical and encourage them to buy paper metals. Could be. I don't know what... There's no particular... I don't think there's any kind of follow the money or anything like that. Expert contribution writer, financial industry writer and editor since 2019. Sorry, you can't see that, people. My apologies. Give me a second. Where are we? No, that's not it, Joe. Right there. Well, I was passionate about providing reasonable information and trust on topics. Yeah, financial areas of expertise, brokers, crypto, small business, investing, personal finance. Yeah, there's nothing to say that there's, any major, I mean, she gets paid to do what she does and you've got to write articles. So, but I wouldn't attribute any kind of massive kind of malice or anything like that. But yeah, it could be an encouragement to buy paper metals. Yeah. I think she's genuine with her article writing, so I don't think it's anything malicious in my opinion. I don't think it's for a specific reason. I think she believes her arguments for owning physical gold or not owning physical gold is a bit more of a hassle, but just a little bit more uninformed than the rest of us stackers because we've lived it for so long. The Don back in the house. Unfortunately, I can't watch this live, but I'll watch. Good on you, mate. Tony Pearson, Senator Gerard is questioning what went on with the Perth Mint pass at the moment. I didn't realise about that. Okay, I'll need to find out more about that. Why is the West Australian government trying to drop Perth Mint like it's hot? Yeah, are they? Oh, is the government trying to sell the Perth Mint? Ooh, let's do a GMS family. Let's gather all our resources and we'll buy the Perth Mint. I can tell you now, I know some people who, well, everyone would love to buy the Perth Mint. I know some actual people who'd be like, could I buy the Perth Mint? Like I know one person or two people in particular, I'd be like, they would have crunched. I know someone in particular who would have at least gone, who would have crunched the numbers and gone, could I buy the Perth Mint? But they would have realised it wasn't possible. It'd be too expensive. But Living Adamant says, I saw that. And Senator Roberts, okay, somebody suggested it was another dealer with four-letter abbreviation. But I'm not sure. What's the four-letter abbreviation of a dealer? Smoke and mirrors deflection. Living Adamant, I wonder if it will publicise the fine. You're talking about the Perth Mint. The allegations were they were selling storage. They're selling storage unallocated, but there was none. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't know whether that's true or not. Let's get to this article, but we're still talking about the Perth Mint. If I was a betting lass, I'd say Perth Mint didn't keep enough stock levels for the allocated, let alone unallocated. Look at the recent debacle with too many trying to claim their holdings. Ooh. Mark Florida says, GMS, late but at last I will get the PM analyses. True. And you will get the PM analysis right there, Mark Florida man. Let's take a look at the price of gold, silver, and platinum, and then we shall get out of here. Let's take a look at silver, $29.76 US cents. We're using the tradingview.com website, and we always price it in US dollars. Why? Because it is the world's reserve currency. Sometimes I do it in Australian dollars, but you have to understand that the Australian dollar floats against the US dollar, so we kind of all use it as we use the USD as the default. Right here. Very quickly, as I said in the Gold Silver Stackers Australia forum, right here, silver attempting a turnaround, making a play for 29.80. As mentioned, at least have to see it close a day above it to signal strength to make it back to the final hurdle. You guys know what I'm talking about. Welcome to all my new subscribers overnight. 342 as of last look earlier this morning. So that's a lot overnight, actually, quite a few. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new to these quick analyses, I just do a quick bit of analysis on silver, gold, and platinum. We had the move up to $32.50. Looks like a double top so far. We had that move down to $28.60. And I've been saying this previous area of resistance here, resistance here, became support for a little bit, but it was a failed move to hold support. $29.80 US cents has failed to close any day above it for the last 7 or 8 days, roughly. It needs to. It's looking like it's making a play for it today. That's why I said is silver turning around today, or it's attempting a turnaround. We've opened green. Doesn't necessarily mean you stay green for the day. Watch out for the fake outs where it goes. It peeks its head above and then goes, no thank you, and continues down. Watch for the fake out. But at the moment, it is making an attempt to break 29.80. It is so clear to me, and it must be clear to you, that it is a significant level of resistance. But I want to see it close the day, meaning a solid green, not just one of those little candle wicks right there. I want to see the solid green area, like that one there, above here, right here. Above, at or above, I would say preferably above, $29.80 US cents, which would then give me pause to say, there's a little bit more strength in the market, and then we could continue on our merry way up to the final hurdle. Over time, we might have a bit of a peak and a trough. We have to hold and close all days above $29.80 to keep it as a support level. Okay, then I'd say $31, which is the incredibly big Fibonacci level for a very old high and a very old low. At 31 US dollars, it's a very key level which we've failed to hold on the monthly time frame. We flirted with it. No. Spike above, close below. Spike above, close below. All of you were going, we're back above 31. I said, just wait. We've got to close a month. above it. So we didn't do that in May. So I'm 99% we're in a bull market because we're above this long-term downtrend line. We're above 26 US dollars. So we're still looking good. 99% in a bull market for silver. 100% confirmed by closing any month above 31 US dollars, but we're not there yet. And while we're below 29.80, while we're closing below it, we're not even on our way to the final hurdle. So we've got to close 29.80 a day above it. That's what I said, and that's what I said. I just said it. That's what I've been saying, and of course, right here on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame, I'll show you right here. We're green for the week. Hey, that's great to see. Fantastic. So this is the weekly time frame, and why can't you see it? Oh, come on, gang. There you go. My best buy zone between 28 US dollars and 26 US dollars. While we are, sorry guys, vertigo, too much movement, motion sickness. While we are below 29.80, while we are below a weekly time frame or a daily time frame below 29.80, I remain confident, 70% confident that we hit the best buy zone between $28 and 26 US dollars. As I said, what negates that? Closing above 29.80, and that's pretty much all you need to know for silver for today. That's silver. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's still ranging. We're at 2,328 US dollars. My best buy zone here, which is still in play for now while we are below 2,350 US dollars. So still 70% chance. Great to see that we've bounced on the weekly. We found a pretty much exact support at that previous level I've had drawn in for a while, which was 2,305. What a random little level. 2,305 US dollars. Yet, why? Because it was a level of support here. And so I thought it would be a level of support and resistance, and it has been over the daily time frames. You can definitely see that on the weekly. On the weekly relative strength index, we're still on the downward movement. So the direction is moving down. That's why I'm still 70% sure we hit the best buy zone of between 2,250 all the way down to 2,150. Could go lower, but my best buy zone, the best risk to reward, is between those two levels, anywhere. The top end, 2,250, down to the bottom end, 2,150, right there. But great to see we're above 2,305, but we're not there yet, not out of the woods. Yep, that's all you need to know. You've got to break and hold above this downtrend line right here. That coincides with roughly 2,350. And the final hurdle for me, for my new subscribers, 2,400 US dollars is the amount we need to break and hold, at least on a weekly time frame, I would say, in order for me to be confident to say, oh, new all-time highs in gold, not coming in months and years, but in weeks. Okay, so but we're not there yet. So those are the levels you need to watch out for. Still 70% sure we hit the best buy zone until we break that 2,350 level. That is gold. And platinum. Man, I love technical analysis. I love it. All right, this is platinum on the weekly time frame. You guys can even see it. You guys have watched me long enough now. You know what I'm talking about. Weekly time frame, I'll show you the daily. Look at that. Okay, platinum on the daily. Let me just move that there. Oh, this is interesting. Ooh, okay. So platinum on the daily, we had that peak at, was that 1,095 US dollars, which means on the daily we went into extremely overbought, which was saying there's a bit of a top signal there, going into extremely overbought right there. We have been trending down on the relative strength index on the daily time frame. We came down to my support level, which I'd had in for last week, 950 right there. I said it might be an area of support because it was a previous area of resistance. And we have seen a cluster for a few days around 950 US dollars. And out of interest, man, now I haven't got this. I haven't, gotten the ruler out and drawn it in like pixel to pixel, like perfect. But you can see right here, we came right back up to the top end of this long-term downtrend line. What am I talking about? Motion sickness, sorry. To my new subscribers, the long-term downtrend line from February of 2008, the thick yellow line right here for platinum. Boo! February 2008. Boo! Attempt to break out, failed move. Attempt to break out, failed move. Attempt, failed move, failed move. Attempt to break out, failed move. Attempt to break out. Well, it did break out, but attempt to hold it, I should say. And it was looking good, and then failed move. So failed move to hold, fast move to the downside. Right here, failed move back in this depression zone for me. And I was suggesting if we're going to see any resistance, well, you definitely see resistance at this thick yellow line right here. And what do you know, on the daily time frame, we saw resistance at the thick yellow line right here. So look, positive to see that it's green for the week. Yeah, sure, great. But we're still in the depression zone for me for platinum. Got to break and hold this week or close any week above this thick yellow downtrend line from February of 2008. And then I'm going to say, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, we're looking a little bit interesting here. I'm still depressed for platinum because we're in this zone. Watch out for my best buy zone, 900 to 750. Am I saying it's definitely going there? No, I'm not giving the same kind of percentage chance as I am for silver and gold for their best buy zones. Yeah, I'm going to just stay on the fence for that. I'm not sure yet. What would negate that? What would put me in, say, 70% chance we hit the best buy zone? Breaking and closing below a week, even a daily? No, I'd say a weekly below that 950 level. Then I'd say, 70% chance we're hitting the best buy zone there. That's it. That's all you need to know for platinum. I'm ho-hum when it's in this area. Once it gets to here, I'm getting excited for platinum. We're not there yet. We'll talk about it when we get there. On the relative strength index, we're a slightly upwards direction on the weekly. Okay, that's positive to see, but we're in that zone, so I've got to be depressed for platinum. Technically, that is silver, that is gold, that is platinum. Final comments, and then I've got stuff to do. I've got clients to speak to. And if you want to be one of those clients, or if you own a business, or if you work for a business that has terrible social media or not very good social media, or they could be doing it better, send them my way, because I launch but also grow. So you could have a YouTube channel already, but get someone like me to take a look at it and go, oh, look, it's okay, but you could be doing better. And I'll give you the skills, or I'll teach someone within your business, or you could hire someone new. You can even hire me if you really want. Sometimes I will do that too. You can actually hire me to do your social media if you want. I'm willing to do that too. But at least let me take a look at it. All right, because I know what I'm doing, been doing it for a long time. Let's get to some last comments and then we'll get out of here. Yes, I'm glad you did. Let's see. Hans is in the house. Great. Hans, welcome, Hans. I haven't seen you in the live show before. Hans says, rewatched yesterday's live. Haha, very good. Yesterday's live show, and I'll put a link above on the replay. I'll put a link above now on the replay. Once I can do that, I'll do that. It was the Crazy Conspiracy Theory show. It was a great time. And exactly like I predicted, maybe because it was just a crappy topic, maybe I didn't do it right, it's had the least amount of views of any of my recent videos since, the very first video, the very first live show got like 50 things, but it had like no subscribers. But it's had like 135 views, when normally I'm getting at least 250, 300 around about now. So could that be the YouTube algorithm going, no thanks, we're not going to deal, because I talked about JFK, about this, about the thing that happened in 2020 as well. We talked about that. So could that be just, no one was interested, or could it be something else going on? But it was a great show. So do check that one out. Tony Peterson says, I really enjoyed yesterday's conspiracy topic. That's correct. Living Out Man says, I'm not a gambler, but oh, okay. I'm not a gambler, but RSL, just so you know, what's an RSL? That's a retired servicemen's league. That's what it means here in Australia. In America, you'd be talking about your, Veterans Association organizations, right? So an RSL is a retired servicemen's league, but think of them like glorified pubs, like really big pubs here in Victoria. Out of interest, RSLs. This is something that blew my mind when I started doing more gigs. I'm a singer by nighttime, and I do lots of performances around Australia. I live in Victoria, and RSLs in Victoria, they're just kind of your typical kind of pub. There's, it's got a bistro and it's got a thing. Some are a little bit more fancy, right? So I was like, the first time I did an RSL gig in a different state, in particular in New South Wales and Queensland, I did an RSL gig, so a performance at an RSL, and the guys in the band said, "Oh, we've booked this gig at an RSL in Sydney." I went, "Oh, cool." So I just expected to rock up to this smaller kind of venue. These RSLs in these other states, particularly in Sydney and Queensland, but particularly in Sydney, they're like casinos. What the hell? I'm like, I've just rolled in. It's just also like valet parking. There was valet parking and stuff if you could pay for that. I'm like, it's a giant bloody casino, and they're huge. So out of interest, that's what an RSL is, and I've had a lot of fun playing in RSLs in different states. Sorry for the segue. Let's see. Living Animate says home, cars, and bullion raws. Oh, okay. So what you're saying, sorry, is at these RSLs they're doing some raffles, and part of the raffle prizes is bullion, and I'm in it for a good cause. Well, it is a good cause to support veterans, of course, and you can win homes and cars and bullions each month, and bullion each month. That's fantastic. Bullion draws, yeah, each month. It is for a great cause. I absolutely agree. I thought you'd be aware. Who could say no with a who could say no with a $750,000 bullion prize? They also do that. They also do those online raffles as well that they advertise on television as well. Those big, I forgot what they're called. The charities do it, or even sometimes those big competitions like the reality shows, like The Block and all that. They can offer, win $200,000 in gold bullion, that kind of thing. Choose the $200,000 or choose the gold bullion. I know what I'm choosing every time. But yes, and it beats the pokies. Pokies are the slot machines, just for those international viewers. It beats the slot machines. Definitely is, because you just lose over time. So that is it, people. We've talked about. We are all. I'll do it one more time. We're all. We're all like Gollum, aren't we? This is the one ring to rule them all. Right there. Come on, get in there, mate. No, you're not going to do it for me, are you? Okay, where are we? Right there. Nope, you're not. Nope. Sorry, this is the fun part. There you go, son. Right there. The one ring to rule them all. Here it has an inscription there. Can you see that says... You can set 0.25, so it's a full 1 quarter. It's a full 1 quarter of a troy ounce of gold in this 22 carat ring, right there. And I will say this is my precious, because it's my precious one. Well, I have one a little bit extra, but it's basically the only gold that I own because I'm all silver. Dirty silver stacker. That be me, Joe Main. That's it, people. Grab your tasty beverage. We'll sign out with the Synchronised Slurp. Are you ready? Here we go. In 3, 2. And we'll also sign out with the official Good Morning Stackers theme song. Good morning, Stackers. Oh, dang. Sorry. Try it again. Good morning, Stackers. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Thanks for watching. Podcast time. Grab a tasty beverage. Stay safe. Let's get in the groove. Stay informed. Slurp. Now we're on the move. Keep stacking, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, precious.